Hello everybody, my name is Ilse, this is hobbykr, and welcome to the first video in a new drawing series I'm going to be doing, which is drawing Genshin characters working real jobs. I'm very excited to start this, but before we begin, I just want to say that I am currently taking requests. It doesn't have to be Genshin related, but if there's anything you would like me to see me draw, please let me know in the comments below, and I just might. Also, another note, I am not claiming to be the best, most original artist ever. I have long ways to go. I am not happy with many aspects of my drawing, but I'm gonna try my best, and I think my ideas could maybe be fun or entertaining. So I hope you like this video. And without any further ado, let's get started. I'm using Photoshop, by the way. So the first idea that I had was Mona working some sort of like astrologer job, and I know that like tarot readings are very popular on YouTube, so I thought maybe Mona would be a YouTube tarot reader. So that's kind of like what I started off with. So I was trying to give her like a more modern, well, it's not like she doesn't look modern, but kind of a more modern appearance. And at first I didn't know if I wanted to give her the pigtails because I feel like that's not actually a style that is used much in real life, but I decided to do it in the end. I took some inspiration from her original design in the necklace and the colors a bit later. And I think that the final design actually came out quite cute. I feel like without her hat, Mona isn't super recognizable, so I was worried about that. But I think I took some good pointers from her actual design. This hand was also giving me a lot of trouble, just because the pose is something that I had never ever drawn before. And now I'm actually drawing the final line art. I feel like my line art is never as thin as I would like it to be, but if I make it any thinner, it becomes really difficult for me to make like nice lines. So I'm always frustrated by that fact. If anyone knows how to like create really thin lines while maintaining control, I would love to hear any advice you might have. Although I try to draw everything freehand because I think that's the best way to practice, one thing that they've really drilled into me in school is that objects are symmetrical and therefore they should look it. So I am using the symmetry tool to create the necklace and choker just because it does look much better when your objects actually look like manufactured, which is what they would look like in real life. I'm giving Mona super long nails just because I feel like if she was a YouTube tarot reader, she would definitely have those. And then I'm just working on a little bit more detail for the hair and the clothes and everything. Once again, I feel like my line art tends to look a bit stiff, and that's one of the things I'm really trying to work on so that it looks a bit more dynamic and like it has more movement. I skipped the base coloring and now I'm just gonna go straight to shadows. I also feel that my shadows tend to look quite flat, so that is also one of the things that I'm trying to work on in my drawing. But here I'm just giving her very basic shadows just because if she was in front of a camera, the light would be right in front of her and there wouldn't be much cast shadows or anything. This is the image I'm using for reference, by the way, and I'm basing the lighting, obviously the pose I based around that and the lighting as well. And for the hair, I'm following a drawing tutorial by Christoph Y. I thoroughly recommend it. I wanted to see how this would look blended with a more like cell shading style, because obviously his tutorial is more like realistic. I thought that the outcome was good, but I don't think it's something that I would use long term. Still, it's an amazing tutorial. Like, I actually followed it for class and I thought the outcome was incredible. So if you're drawing like any kind of realism or semi-realism, I thoroughly recommend this tutorial, and I think everyone should watch it. It's like, it changed my life, honestly. Here I'm just experimenting with different highlights on the hair. I didn't know which style would suit this style of coloring better, but in the end I settled for just these subtle highlight lines, and I do think that that's what looks best with this coloring method. For the shirt, I was using a reference that was kind of like velvety, and that's the appearance that I wanted to give it. I don't think I was like very successful at it. I've been learning how to paint fabric and stuff in school, but I haven't seen velvet. And yeah, I don't think it looks very velvety, but I tried. And here I'm just painting the jewelry. Finally, I'm painting the eyes. I like painting the eyes last because I feel like it's really when the drawing comes to life. And I drew her highlights, catch lights, kind of square, because there would probably be square lights. Here, I'm gonna start working on the background, and what I did was create a mandala for her to have like in a tapestry behind her, because I felt like this is a very like YouTube tarot reader thing to have in your room. So I just used the symmetrical ruler mandala thingy on Photoshop. It was super easy. And then I'm just very simply coloring in the tapestry. Nothing crazy, because I knew I was gonna blur the background in the end. So that's why I didn't put much detail on it. Then I wanted to draw a bunch of books on the shelf. I honestly didn't like how this turned out. I think I should have added a bit more detail. I do think it looks a bit cartoony in the end, but I was running out of time. I worked on this for around like 4 hours, and it was getting to be like 3 a.m. and I just wanted to finish. Lastly, I'm just working on the tarot deck and obviously the cards. Initially, I had more plans for the table and I wanted to put more things. But like I just said, I was running out of time. It was getting super late and I knew I wanted to draw a different illustration the next day. So unfortunately, I didn't add a lot of detail to the tarot deck, but I think it gets the point across. Of course, I decided to give Mona the fortune card, as if she was, you know, reading her own fortune, I guess maybe. I tried to create a coin. This is what I'm trying to do here. I think it looks kind of like pizza crust, but I try to give it like a kind of coin design. But I knew that it wasn't the focus of the piece, so I didn't spend too much time on it. And here I'm just writing fortune, great riches await, which is what I imagine the tarot card would say. And then I'm just giving a super simple design to the deck just because I thought it looked a bit plain. And I'm not happy with the colors I chose overall in this piece. I think color is one of the things I struggle the most with. But overall, I think I really kind of like made it come alive. And then at the end, what I just did is take that screenshot that I used for reference, and I put Mona, my piece, on it just to make it look like a real YouTube video. And here's the finished piece. Moving right along, starting our next drawing for the video, I just really had a vision for Raiden Shogun being like a modern prime minister. Here I tried drawing like the silhouette, but it really wasn't working out. So then I drew it off camera because I was really struggling with it. And this is kind of like what I came up with, this pose. I wanted something that looked kind of like a character design sheet thingy that you would see. And, you know, there cannot be a powerful female politician without a good pantsuit. So I decided to give her a pantsuit. And then just a bun, a simple bun as the hair, because I feel like female politicians tend to just wear very simple hairstyles. And I started the line art. And I always feel really accomplished when I draw full body characters, and I was honestly very happy with the pose and kind of the clothes and everything with this piece. Again, I think that my line art looks a bit flat and I could definitely add more movement, but I felt that the clothes looked like they were actually resting on her body, which is something that I actually struggle with a lot sometimes, so I was happy about that. I used this picture for reference, and I really liked the outfit, so I decided to use it. For the shoes, I feel like they look a bit awkward. I need to get better at drawing shoes in different perspectives, but overall I really liked the clothes that I drew. Lastly, I'm just drawing the pen and her binder. I just thought that, I don't know, maybe that's what a prime minister would have. Looking back, I think she kind of does look like a lawyer, but prime ministers don't have like super elaborate clothes or anything. Maybe I should have given her like a pin, like a Japan pin or something, to make her a bit more, look more like a prime minister. But anyway, this is my vision of how I would have A be a prime minister. I don't think she would be too troubled by the looks of it. She would focus on doing the best job she could. And here is I skipped the base color again and I just went straight to shadows. I gave it a very kind of like violet undertone overall, and that is what's being reflected in the shadows and everything. I thought her pantsuit should reflect the colors of like her actual character design. And if you're wondering about the belt buckle, I'm actually gonna put her vision there. I just thought it would be an interesting design. And here I'm just creating like a plaid design for the pants. I thought it was actually quite successful and it was very simple to do. For the shadows of the pants, I'm not super happy with them. I think they look a bit dark, but as always, I feel like colors and shadows is something that I really struggle with, like getting the color right and everything. So I'm gonna keep working on that. But overall, I was really pleased with the outfit. And lastly, I'm just gonna be creating the design for the belt buckle, which again is inspired by her vision. I try to follow the Christoph Y tutorial, but using a hard brush, so not for Mona. I used a different kind of brush, and I really didn't like the effect. I also think I chose the wrong shadow color. Overall, I really didn't like how the shadow worked in this piece, but you know, I thought it was good that I was like experimenting with new ways of coloring and trying to find what the best method is for me. I didn't super love the final result, but it's fine. And once again, lastly, I did the eyes just because I like seeing them come alive at the very end. And here's the finished piece. So here are the two pieces I drew for the very first video of Genshin characters doing real jobs. Let me know what you thought. Do you think Mona and Raiden Shogun would be doing these jobs in real life? Let me know if you have any ideas. And again, if you have any requests, I would be really happy to read them. And if you did like this video, I would really appreciate a like and a comment. I really want to make this work as a series. So I would really love to hear any feedback that you might have. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.